Hello, my name is Ola, and I'm going to be reacting to Old Abe's Oddysee by Caddicarus. This was recommended to me by Jethro Henderson. Thank you for the recommendation. This is part of the Odd World games, and I'm going to be completely honest. I know nothing, absolutely nothing about this game. Like, not a zilch noodle, nothing, dude. Like, so I can't give an opinion. Like, is it good, bad? Is it somewhere in between? I don't know, but yeah, let's check it out. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Here we go.
Get me out of here!
Okay.
Things are about to get odd. Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people. I'm Caddicarus. I decide whether or not a game gets slaughtered or salvaged. It's October, it's getting nice and cold, it's nearly Halloween, and that means that we're in for another month of terror. And what better way to start it off than with another revisiting of a game which I did a video about which I wasn't 100% happy with on an older show of mine.
You're running out of ideas.
What?
You're running out of ideas.
No, I'm not.
You're doing Oddworld again.
Yes.
You're shit. What about all of these games? No.
Aladdin, an Alien Trilogy, Ape Escape,
No.
Bomberman, Breakout, I don't know, Bugs Bunny and Taz, Time Busters, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time,
No.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Creatures, even here, Croc 2,
No.
Die Hard here, Doom, Driver even.
No.
And that is all just one shelf of PS1 games, there's another 3!
I don't care.
And all of those games up there, all of the PS2 games, the PS3 games, GameCube,
Okay, well, why are you doing Oddworld again?
because they're fucking worth it.
Ah yes, the next game to be resurrected under the Caddicarus show from Caddy's Retrospectives is indeed Oddworld. But I think for now I'll only talk about Abe's Oddysee, the first game from Oddworld inhabitants established by Sherry McKenna, and of course, the legendary Limitless Luscious Law Landing. What happens when you take this art, these concepts, these near fully realized ideas and decide to show them to the masses? You can do many things, but in this case you get somebody with years of experience in film and CGI to team up with somebody heavily inspired by Blackthorn, Prince of Persia and Flashback, and who wanted to create something that wasn't just a toy for a plastic George Foreman grill. And then you make a game under a singular company dedicated to making more games under the same series and constantly expanding the universe that was set in stone, with September 1997's Oddworld, Abe's Oddysee. The game that single-handedly still gives me a heart attack from the fucking copyright warning screen.
After all these years, I still can't cope with the suspense. Okay, maybe it was just on the demo disc where I got scared. Yeah, maybe it was just the demo disc that had that immediate screech into the title screen music and then scared me shitless. Oh, God, I'm so happy it's not on the full thing because I was very worried that I would have had fucking hell.
Abe's Oddysee follows the antics of Abe as he retells his story of how he ended up hanging by his arms in a prison. In the events leading up to the game, all expressed through dark, rhyming poetry, Abe, voiced by the legendary Limitless Luscious Lon Lanning, tells of the time he was working late one night at a corrupt, dirty and sadistic meatpacking factory called Rupture Farms, cleaning the floors.
Yeah, you did a great job, Abe. Great job.
Until he discovers that Moloch the Glucken, the grotesque peanut head top of the company, is telling his co-workers that they have have run out of other animals to cut up into tasty treats, and so he decides to start cutting up his own fucking employees in order to make a profit. Well, I say employees, more slaves, honestly. Terrified by the news that he was never meant to see, Abe runs away, and these few minutes are not only some of the most atmospheric and abnormally dark intros for a game at the time, but the FMV is still fucking amazing. I have no other words for it. The quality, the art style, the pure unbridled effort, it's all here and it's marvelous and helps you connect with likable little Abe, engage yourself deep in the world immediately, give you a drive to get you started, and tell you everything about Abe's personality and the world he lives in perfectly in, like I said, mere minutes. It's one of the best intros in gaming history and has some of the best FMV in a game period I've ever seen. And whenever Abe is involved in the FMV sequences, his bumbling and happy-go-lucky personality is what saves him half the time. His incompetence with a few situations in the game is endearing, and it makes it all the more funny how it doesn't get him killed and makes you like him even more. Because he's not stupid, he's just a little bit hapless. And the rest of the game follows his escape from Rupture Farms into discovery about the wildlife and history of Oddworld itself, leading to a spiritual quest and an unveiling of new powers to then return to the plant, save your friends, and then shut it all down forever. Overall, the story is just classic. It has plenty of dark humor alongside a very observational and twisted sense of reality with alien designs and the concepts of capitalism and human and environmental rights. And since it is an over-exaggerated mirror to our own world, it takes so many more liberties and risks while still being able to be distributed to people who can barely make a cup of tea without being fully trusted by their parents with a boiling kettle of water. And I always love the details, like the fact that as you play and find out you're going to be made into snacks and realize it isn't safe anymore in the factory, the second you escape you quickly realize you're also the bottom of the food chain outdoors against the vile aggressive creatures. So what place do Mudokons have in this world? They're slaves in a factory until death, packaged into snacks, or eaten quickly in the wild by everything above them. That's depressing as hell. I also love how you think you can escape the horrors of trigger-happy sligs away from the factory, but then when you notice them in the wilderness, you stop and realize, shit, what are they doing here? These guys are here to collect the last remaining animals before they go extinct just so that they can make them into snacks. And all those things makes Abe's plight and sympathetic nature to his species feel more real without explicitly telling you anything. Another awesome detail is right before you start playing, as Abe runs away and becomes Rupture Farm's most wanted, the way this mugshot appears on the electronic billboard speaks volumes to me. They never captured Abe before, so why is this mugshot even here? Is it because the Gluckons knew how exploitative and evil they were being and were expecting an uprising, so it got slave mugshots for everyone just in case a revolt happened? Is it because once you start working at Rupture Farms, you never stop, so all the credentials are with the company like a demented orphanage? It helps further cement the awful conditions and ugly, warped workplace that you desperately want to help Abe and his friends escape from, and it's a perfect and subtly beautiful way to kick you straight into the gameplay on the run for your life. And here is the game.
It kinda looks like Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness has nothing on Oddworld. Sure, it looked very nice, but it was a mess. It's impossible to tell what's interactable and what isn't. Combat is way too slow and clunky for the speed of the enemies. Things kill you all the time for literally no reason at all and no chance for you to react. It's not smart, it's not subtle, it hasn't got sexy old Abe in it, baby! Anyway, now, you see, the game here wants me to run away from the slig that was chasing me a second ago, but nah, I know all of your tricks, game. How about I instead head for this immediate secret area to rescue some friends? Come on, no, get in there. Fucking shit. No, fucking get in. Ah! There we go.
Whoa.
Oh no. I should have kept on running. The game's hard. Fuck, this game's difficult, and it's one of those games where you'll die until you get everything right, and there's a lot to get right here. Abe's Oddysee is under the niche genre of cinematic platformers from the 90s, which are extremely stylized, atmospheric, digitized, and realistically controlling side-scrollers with plenty of movie-like sequences and heavy controls that often don't apply until the last minute to make you feel the true weight of your character and make you feel part of the world. Yes, sometimes the delay controls can be a part of the frustration, causing many a death when you swear you hit the button at the right time, or causing problems with jumping into bird portals to teleport yourself to another area. Oh no, come on, get in there, oh fucking shit, got it. And the frustration can even be towards the end of the game as it gets harder but ridiculously trial and error and full of shit that happens out of absolutely nowhere to a point of you nearly putting an entire foot through your TV screen, which is made even worse by the addition of absolutely no quick saving and distant checkpoints. But the game succeeding and making you feel part of the world at the same time are because of the things you're taught in the very beginning of the game, from lever pulling to climbing around, mine deactivating to motion detector avoiding, and even how you can get sligs to chase you without shooting immediately, and how they all start gradually evolving into puzzles that can be solved multiple ways. And it also teaches you that things you pick up, enemies you possess, and even Mudokons you see, if you so please, can be manipulated and exploited in order to pass difficult sections or make them insultingly easy. Even the rare creature encounters throw more gameplay curveballs at you without changing the basics. The horrific spider-like paramites that spring on you out of nowhere are friendly and can be easily distracted with throwing meat, until you get them backed up in a corner or get them in a group, and then they'll slaughter you. The proud yet deadly scrab scrabs chase you no matter what, yet are very slow to catch on to what they're chasing and are easily distracted by killing other scrabs as soon as they see them. Slogs, on the other hand, aren't too fast but cannot be distracted and are ruthlessly aggressive. Abe dies immediately from anything in this game. Gunshots, scrabs, paramites, slogs, bats. You're pathetic. Even kamikaze sligs, holy shit. Which makes the entire experience tense and heart-pounding no matter where you are, and the lack of knowledge on checkpoints and no ability to quick save adds to the tension, while at the same time being horrifically dated and annoying on a hellish level.
Either way, Oddworld lets you know that no matter where you are, the rusted, decrepit meat factories or the bleak, empty wilderness, you are not safe. And you feel that.
Especially as you die, and it makes you realise how much Abe is the everyman who you can relate to and feel oppressively weak with in this other world. The level design is also great. It can be deceptively simple, deceptively complex, requires tons of exploration, and all feels like you're traversing the world around you and not a random series of platforms. It also works on a screen-by-screen basis to keep objects and puzzle elements important to each individual screen and not getting too overbearing, allowing you to not get killed or seen by things off-screen that you can also hear if you're paying attention to know what's coming up. And working like a large map of squares because of all of that. Think of it like the original Zelda, but on the side and with, you know, demented horse monsters. It also has loads of secrets, my god, and they can be so ludicrously well hidden you'll never logically think to look in some of these places. But for most of the time, they are actually in plain sight. See these bits of rubble here? They aren't just to let you know that something is grabbable above you, but also indicates you can drop to something below you, so you can use that to your advantage to find hidden Madokans and more challenges. Even the fast bits with chase sequences never let you get too surprised with the screen-by-screen basis, as every transition sweeps from left to right to let your eye quickly and naturally absorb what's on the screen and give you the ample milliseconds you need to figure out what's going on. Most of the time at least, when the game doesn't throw shit at you that you don't expect. Yeah, fuck you! Or you know, the game can just glitch. That looks normal. Or you can touch this mine to cause a mammoth explosion just before reaching the safety of a launch pipe. Yes, I'm a beast! I also mentioned earlier you can possess other enemies. In this game it's only the sligs, these green slimy arseholes that look like this guy having a bad day. Once you can control the sligs, the gameplay totally shifts, and with the chanting, the deep, intense droning sound effects getting louder and more distorted to the higher spirit count and flashing visuals, and even the sudden, drastic, aggressive drum beat music change is a hugely gratifying way to let you know the tables have turned and the shift is real. Possession gives you abilities to talk to other enemies, bypass security, shoot down anything you want in the foreground or background, and kill sligs at will by making them explode.
Damn!
You sick fuck. Yet you can't actually jump or climb, not letting you abuse this power at all. And in lots of areas, chant stoppers mean you have to use your cunning alone, and most of the time you actually need a safe place to chant in the first place, because even though possession completely turns the tables, it also requires Abe to be at his most vulnerable, as he can't move at all from where he is, and can even be spotted in shadowy areas, meaning that you have to, again, manipulate the enemies and surroundings in order for you to find the place to get you the overpowering you so desperately need to get. The balance between weak, pathetic little Abe and super mecha death Christ Abe is so perfect, and both require that you're on your toes and learning the ropes constantly.
It may also even be a metaphor for the inner strength and inner badass potential of anybody, no matter how weak they look. And if that's the case, then that's very sweet, and I thank you for that. Legendary, limitless, luscious lawn landing.
This is, I think, the most prevalent in the power that you get after activating the necessary spirit things in each deadly temple of scrabs and paramites, in which Big Face here, yes that's his name, can give you the ability to morph into a fucking nightmare god that destroys everything on screen in a huge display of satisfaction, which is eventually how you end up murdering each horrid member of the board after Mullock the Gluckin decides to kill everything in the factory after you shut it down. I mean, what a bastard. Chanting can even apply to how you save your buddies. You have to chant to do that, so make sure that you're safe before doing so. In order to save your friends though, you need to communicate to them, right? To get towards the bird portals to save them. So how do we do that exactly? Well, what's this on the main menu? Game speak? Well, if you don't know about that, we'll discuss it in a second, but for now, let's rap about it.
Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Wait, wait. Wait, wait. Hello, hello, wait, wait.
GameSpeak was unique to Oddworld, not only with the clever and memorable way it was mapped to the PS1 controller with the legendary limitless luscious lawn landings logic of people playing maybe 4 or 5 games at a time on average, keeping it not overly complicated, but also for how it took something only ever really seen in point-and-click adventures, talking to characters at will, and turning it on its head by making it a concrete and direct gameplay mechanic with multiple layers of use for it and not just context-sensitive actions. On the surface level, GameSpeak has 3 commands you'll be using a lot: hello, follow me, and wait. And with these you'll be communicating with every Madokan you come across, across, and even when you possess a slig to communicate with other enemies. The puzzles are hard enough to solve on their own, but once these guys get involved, it's another kettle of fish, with you needing to direct and place them in real time, along with staying alive and keeping them alive. If they're spotted by sligs as they move, walk into mines, don't get told to hit the deck by a possessed slig if you want to shoot an ally, or don't get told to move when a hungry animal is on its way, then they all die. And GameSpeak is the only way to save them from that without compromising the core gameplay of cinematic, slow survival platforming. And by this point, it's a staple of Oddworld. It's just a classic little gameplay element. And for the most part, saving your friends with the GameSpeak mechanic is totally optional at the end of the day. And I don't blame people for not trying to save everybody from the irritating way you can't communicate to multiple Mudokons, making some puzzles last forever with back and forth repetitive gameplay, and the way that you have to wait for your current Mudokon to ignore you before talking to one that you actually want to talk to. So these things can be pretty shattering to such a realistic world, and I actually think, looking back, apart from a couple of the Slig Telecom puzzles and the whistling puzzles, and a few times that as you possess a Slig you then have to talk to a Slog and direct him to kill another Slig that you can't reach, and of course in the odd place you need to be able to transform into the Shrike to explode everything around you, and to do that you need to rescue a certain amount of Mudokons at once in a bird portal. Apart from those few instances, the GameSpeak mechanic never gets a full realization in this game until Abe's Exodus, in which learning the basics of it becomes a necessity with the puzzles, but mastering it gives you more satisfaction and allows you to solve more tricky puzzles and save the other Mudokons in the process. But choosing to use the GameSpeak in this game makes some puzzles way more interesting, increases your playtime, gives you the best ending, and it's just satisfying to do and get everything right. I mean, you want to help the little guy, right? You want to be like me? And help baby? Be a little good boy like me? You want to help? And the GameSpeak was even cleverly designed enough that in parts where you had to mimic other tribal Mudokons or even Sleg Telecoms, since these parts weren't as frequent or as regular as hello, follow me, and wait scenarios, they were not only mapped to the secondary trigger button to remind you that, but the high-pitched noises were mapped to the triangle and the low pitches to the X button. High is top, low is bottom. It's extremely clever and memorable without being in your face with prompts and reminders, because Abe's Oddysee is a game that doesn't insult your intelligence.
Here, boy.
Yeah, come here, boy, I have some treats for you, motherfucker. I mean, it doesn't insult your intelligence to a degree where it doesn't tell you where dead ends are, where it's impossible to go without dying after you notice that one scanning the environment. It doesn't tell you that this lever is going to kill you or a friend. It doesn't interrupt you with a single tutorial, and it doesn't even tell you that there's a morality system.
You know you can use Shadow the Hedgehog for good and evil gameplay, and you have to pick a good or evil mission in each stage, which takes you down each path, and you do that when you skate around and use machine gun.
No! It trusts your judgment enough for you to know that, hey, if you don't save all the Mudokons you can find, which we kind of stated in the intro cutscene is part of the point, if you find it hard but aren't willing to put in the effort to at least try saving them along with beating the game, well, all of your hours of suffering will be ended with instant death, followed by a snarky message from us telling you you done fucked up. Not our problem, you're just a total bastard.
And that's what I love about Oddworld, not just the fact that it's a twisted mirror of our own reality, but also, in itself, a mirror to you, the player, because the game itself doesn't shove any ideologies or forces things for you to do in your face. You just have to decide whether or not it's morally correct or worth your time to do what Abe suggests is the right thing to do at the start of the game. Rescue your friends. You can do that, or you can't. It's up to you. The game doesn't even give you that choice. So then if you decide to disobey Abe and do everything evil that the game represents, then you equally deserve to be punished for it. And no, they're not going to tell you that's what's going to happen, because you should know that.
And if not, you get the good ending and feel good that you completed Abe's spiritual and meaningful journey in the perfect little way, while also seeing what gluttons really look like and making you realise that money can really overinflate more than just your ego. I mean, look at them. That's the last bit of big humiliation you fucking need to round off the awful plot of the gluttons. And if that's not enough though, feel free to go for 100% killing everything and beat the everlasting shit out of innocent Mudokons, which unlocks you unlimited grenade usage on a second attempt. And if you want to feel truly rewarded for 100% saving the Mudokons in the game, you unlock a movie gallery with a hidden cut trailer for the game called Guardian Angel.
And prepare to change your bed sheets. You piss yourself.
Just because life is doomed and everyone wants to eat you doesn't mean there's no hope. You need to look within if you wanna be free.
Gaming gets odd.
Lesson learned. If you ever want to save your fellow man from a slaughterhouse, don't ever save your fellow man from a slaughterhouse.
And can we just talk about Ellen for a second? That's Mule backwards. Very clever, legendary limitless Usher's Lawn Landing. He's the cutest and sweetest and hootest, tootest, meaty, tweetiest thing in the game, and he can make you run and jump really fast for some of the most fun parts of Paramonia and Scrabania. Look at him. He's just so sweet. Ellen likes honey but hates bees. It's important, remember that. And never tell him to wait.
Wait.
He hates that as much as bees. Just watch it as he pops his head out of a door frame. It's adorable. I feel bad every time I have to leave him behind. I feel like he's just going to stay there and wait for me, and it just makes me too sad. Ah, who am I kidding? He hates waiting. And as you can see from everything you've been looking at in this video, the game is one of the most visually striking and stunningly original pieces of art that ever existed in gaming up until that point. And for the PS1 especially, it does a lot with its limitations. Not one area looks generic, not one isn't memorable, not one isn't beautiful for totally different reasons, and not one has screen upon screen of deep and rich detail. I'd hang these on my wall easy. Especially the intro with the theme of escaping, it just captures it all so well. The dingy and harshly metallic Rupture Farms being the perfect exit sign in itself to any area in existence, followed by the stockyards in which you can not only see the sky slowly shifting from industrial disgusting clouds of smoke to a calming deep and clean blue with many other planets and moons letting you know how small your world in the plant was, to warnings forcing you to turn back and telling you that you were never supposed to leave, with the daunting giant motion detector towers, pens with deadly creatures, and dead Madocan bodies hanging in clumsy wooden structures. It captures not only the need to escape, but shows you why, instead of constantly telling you why is important, all with some of the most atmospheric and minimalist music to go along with everything you see. Even the FMV transitions are great and truly show off the scale of Oddworld's boundless universe. Following that are the surreal yet gorgeous desert landscapes of Scrabania and the creepy, misty trees of Paramonia, which, now that I look at them, look a lot like Center Parks actually. Come down to Center Park's Paramonia Forest for our classic holiday packages, but now with our new state-of-the-art mines for neighbours that you don't like, many bottomless pits for fun family trips, and even new lodges with bees everywhere, you'll guarantee a stay you'll remember. Center Park's Paramonia Forest. You'll never want to leave. And if we see you try, we'll shoot you on sight.
To be honest, most of the issues and problems I have with this game now that I look back were actually totally addressed and fixed in the bonus expansion direct sequel, Abe's Exodus, one of my favourite games of all time. So much so that Abe's hand scars that he has in that game, yeah, they've been tattooed on the backs of my hands for quite a while now. But as it stands, Abe's Oddysee itself is still a classic after all these years, and it even...
Yeah, because in one of the Caddy reaction videos I did a while back, somebody commented that to me, told me that oh, the tattoos on Caddy's hands are a reference to that game. I was like, whoa, like what? I had no idea. I'm like, what?
Stands out on its own against its 2014 reimagining Oddworld New and Tasty. And it's still as memorable, dark, enjoyable, and just so damn lovable as it was all those years ago when it first came out. So because of that, well done, the legendary Limitless Luscious Lonang, because Oddworld Abe's Oddysee gets the salvage today. Lovely. And if it's your birthday today or watching this video, happy frickin' birthday to you. Please remember to stay beautiful. And when I was sitting in that chair over a year ago getting these hand tattoos done, I threw up in the tattoo parlour.
No way. For real.
If you'd like to try out Abe's Oddysee for a more modern system, it is on PC. I've linked it below in the description, and if you'd like to grab this classic design t-shirt of mine from years ago made by What Up Nico on Twitter about the legendary Limitless Luscious Lonang himself, then please also click in the link below and use the discount code CADDY on checkout for 15% off of that, along with any gaming, TV, movie, wall print, or any other Caddicarus merchandise at all on the pixelempire.com. Thanks for listening, everybody, and here are some outtakes for you.
I love outtakes.
I need to shut my eyes. That's all I need to do. I forgot.
Things are about to get...
No, stop.
What?
You didn't tell me your face was going to be there, so I focused in the wrong place.
Oh, sorry. And that is all just one shelf of PS1 games. Oh, I'm looking at the camera. Daffy Duck Trouser Day. Yeah, Daffy Duck Trouser Day.
Nice. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I did not expect that out of this game. Like, wow, like it's like a dystopian like future world. Like, yeah, that was really good. And yeah, that's my reaction to Old Abe's Oddysee, Oddworld by Caddicarus. Yeah, like I said, I had no idea about this game. Like, I'd actually never heard of it until, yeah, a while back. Like I said, in one of my Caddy reaction videos, somebody commented to me that the tattoos on his hands are reference to that game. I was like, what is Oddworld? Like, so I kind of I was gonna look it up, but then I forgot it. Like, until somebody recommended this to me, and I was like, oh yeah, and I react to this, and now I know. What? Yeah, like it does seem like it is a reflection of us of how like but I don't know. I don't think like we're being really under control. Of course, you got some nut jobs who say we are, and but I mean, you're still free to do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt, kill somebody, force yourself on somebody, Uh, but aside from that, like you can do whatever you want. You can buy a house. You can eat. Like, and then you still got people complaining over here. When in other countries, like man, it's far worse. It's becoming kind of like this world, like, but of course, like not by much, but still, it's messed up. Anyway, yeah, that's it. My reaction, and everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.